Ever pondered how a country can transform from being crime-ridden to becoming a pioneer in the digital economy? Today we're diving into the remarkable story of El Salvador, a nation that has undergone an astonishing transformation. Let's turn back the clock a bit. El Salvador, a small country nestled in the heart of Central America, has had its fair share of struggles. For years it was plagued by crime, economic instability, and political challenges. The country was like a ship tossed in a turbulent sea, struggling to find its course amidst the chaos. But as we know, even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. In the midst of this turmoil, the nation started to see a glimmer of hope. A shift was starting to occur, a change that would not only challenge the status quo, but also set the country on a path to unprecedented growth. This wasn't an overnight change, nor was it a simple one. It was a transformation that required courage, foresight, and a willingness to take risks. But what could possibly bring about such a radical change? What could turn a struggling nation into a pioneer in the digital economy? What could make a country infamous for crime become a beacon of hope for others? The answer to these questions is as surprising as it is fascinating. This isn't a story of a miraculous discovery of natural resources or the rise of a charismatic leader. It's a tale of digital currency, a currency that is as controversial as it is transformative. The answer to this transformation lies in a rather unexpected place: Bitcoin. To appreciate the magnitude of El Salvador's transformation, we need to delve into its past. El Salvador, a Central American nation, is no stranger to adversity. In the not-so-distant past, it was a country teetering on the brink of despair, plagued by an alarming level of crime and economic instability. The struggles faced by this nation were immense, and the effects were felt keenly by its people. In the earlier years, El Salvador was synonymous with a high crime rate. The streets were often ruled by gangs, and law enforcement seemed to be fighting a losing battle. The fear that permeated the society was palpable. Citizens lived in constant anxiety, their lives overshadowed by the threat of violence and crime. This was a grim reality that Salvadorans had to grapple with daily. Alongside crime, economic struggles were another crucial issue. The country was caught in the vicious cycle of poverty, with a significant portion of the population living below the poverty line. The economy was stagnant, and opportunities for growth were scarce. Unemployment rates were high, and the standard of living was low. The economic landscape was bleak, leaving Salvadorans to bear the brunt of these hardships. Moreover, the challenges faced by the people were not limited to crime and economic instability. The country was grappling with political turmoil, corruption, and a lack of basic amenities. The social fabric was torn, and the nation's spirit was battered. Yet the resilience of the Salvadoran people remained unbroken. They persevered, holding on to the hope of a brighter future. These were the harsh realities that characterized El Salvador's past. It was a nation on the edge, beleaguered by numerous challenges. But it's often said that the darkest hour is just before dawn. And for El Salvador, dawn was about to break. Despite these challenges, a beacon of hope emerged, promising a path towards economic stability and growth. In an unprecedented move, El Salvador turned to an unorthodox solution: Bitcoin. This tiny Central American nation, once plagued by crime and economic instability, made a bold leap into the future by becoming the first sovereign government in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. This decision was more than just a headline-grabbing stunt. It was a strategic move designed to address some of the country's long-standing economic challenges. For one, El Salvador has long been a predominantly cash-based society, with more than 70% of its citizens unbanked. Bitcoin, with its peer-to-peer nature, offered a way to financially include these individuals, allowing them to participate in the economy in ways they never could before. More than this, Bitcoin offered a way to attract investment into the country. By positioning itself as a global pioneer in cryptocurrency, El Salvador signaled to the world that it was open for business and ready to embrace the digital economy. But the decision wasn't without its critics. The International Monetary Fund, among others, expressed reservations about the move, citing concerns about Bitcoin's volatility and its potential use for illicit activities. On the ground, there were protests too, with some Salvadorans expressing uncertainty about the new digital currency. Despite these challenges, the country pressed on. It partnered with BitGo, a digital asset trust company, to provide a Bitcoin wallet called Chivo. As a sweetener, it offered $30 in Bitcoin to each user who signed up. In doing so, it hoped to encourage its citizens to embrace this new form of currency and to demonstrate its commitment to the digital economy. So what does this mean for El Salvador's future? It's too early to tell. But one thing is certain. By embracing Bitcoin, El Salvador has positioned itself at the forefront of a global financial revolution, one that could redefine how economies function in the digital age. This bold move was met with mixed reactions, but it marked the beginning of a new era for El Salvador. And whether it ultimately proves to be a stroke of genius or a leap into the unknown, El Salvador's Bitcoin revolution is a story that the world will be watching closely. With Bitcoin in play, El Salvador embarked on a journey of transformation. This wasn't just an economic move, but a daring leap towards a future that was yet uncharted. This small Central American nation, once riddled with crime, was now setting a precedent for the world to watch. The initial days were not without their hardships. The volatility of Bitcoin and the uncertainty that surrounded it led to some apprehension. The country faced both economic challenges and political scrutiny. The International Monetary Fund expressed reservations about the decision, and there were protests from those who were wary of this new form of currency. Yet El Salvador persevered. The government partnered with BitGo to provide a Bitcoin wallet called Chivo, even offering $30 in Bitcoin to its users. This was a bold move, signaling the nation's commitment to its Bitcoin experiment. But what about the impact on El Salvador's economy and crime rates? Well, the results have been promising. The adoption of Bitcoin has led to an increase in economic activity. With more transactions taking place, more businesses are thriving. People are finding new opportunities and with it, hope for a better future. And as for crime, the rates have seen a significant decrease. A stronger economy often leads to a safer society. With the rise in prosperity, fewer people are resorting to crime. The streets of El Salvador are becoming safer day by day. But the transformation isn't just visible in the economy or crime rates. It's seen in the lives of the people. It's seen in the way they view their future, with optimism and anticipation. It's seen in the way they take pride in their nation for being a pioneer in a world that's still apprehensive about cryptocurrencies. The Bitcoin revolution was not just about currency, it was about changing the fate of a nation. And El Salvador is proof of that. It's a testament to the power of innovation and the courage of a nation willing to take a leap into the unknown for the promise of a brighter future. As El Salvador stands at the forefront of the digital economy, what does the future hold? The dawn of a new era has begun, and El Salvador is leading the way. The adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender, a world's first, has propelled this once crime-ridden nation into the limelight of the global financial stage. But what's next for this pioneering country? The potential for Bitcoin's impact on El Salvador's economy is immense. As the country continues to integrate this digital currency into its financial system, we may see an acceleration in economic growth. The increased liquidity and financial inclusion provided by Bitcoin could potentially fuel small businesses, spur job creation, and even contribute to infrastructure development. However, with innovation comes uncertainty. Bitcoin's notorious volatility can be a double-edged sword. While it provides an opportunity for growth and wealth creation, it also holds the potential for economic instability. How El Salvador navigates these turbulent financial waters will be a test of its resilience and adaptability. Yet one thing is certain: El Salvador's bold move has already drawn the attention of other countries. As they watch and learn from El Salvador's experiment, we may see more nations considering a similar path. This ripple effect could reshape the global financial landscape, disrupting traditional banking systems and giving rise to a new era of digital currency. Beyond finance, El Salvador's journey towards transformation isn't over. The country still has strides to make in terms of reducing crime rates, improving governance, and ensuring the well-being of its citizens. The gains made thus far are admirable, but the road ahead is long. In conclusion, the future of El Salvador is a tale yet to be written. It's a tale of hope, of resilience, and of a nation's determination to chart its own course. As the first country to embrace Bitcoin, El Salvador has set a precedent. The question remains, who will follow suit?